Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on December 30th, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white winning numbers were the 3, 9, 16, 56, and 60. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list. And then I take the last 3 drawings and numbers and I transfer it over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 13 red numbers, 14 orange, 14 green, 16 blue, and 12 purple. Okay, so over here to this far right, this 189, this represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And out of this 189, 101 have been a 3-color combination. 70 have been a 4-color combination. 15 have been a 2-color combination, and only 3 times out of 189 drawings have all 5 colors come up together. And never has it been just 1 color, like all red. Okay, so this number right here, this 3, this tells me how many colors just came up in the drawing. So you can see that there was 2 red, 2 green, and an orange. Okay, so for 3 colors total. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up together, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. So for this drawing here, since green has hit 3 drawings in a row right here, I'm going to guess that no green numbers will be coming up. So I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. So I'm just going to scroll over to the right. Okay, so here's what the game card looks like with no green numbers to it. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm making a bet. Okay, I'm spending $3 on a Powerball ticket. So I'm betting that those green numbers won't be coming up. And if I'm correct in my bet, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. And how this works is the master for all the numbers is at the very top. Okay, and over here to the far right are the numbers that just came up. Again, it was the 3, the 9, 16, 56, and 60. Okay, so that means that was a 4-group combination. So I'm going to reduce this down to show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you the whole card. So you're going to see that there's 7 groups total. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. And then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, for 7 groups total. So there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. So the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. So for this drawing here, and how I use this, this big square right here, this is good for 5 drawings. Okay, so I like to break things into 5 because it shows me a majority of things. Okay, so here in the individual numbers, I can look back into the history and see how many numbers hit in a certain group. Okay, so if there was a lot of hits in 5 drawings, then maybe the next 5 won't have so many. Okay, or vice versa. Okay, so for this drawing here, since the numbers 1 through 9 had 5 hits in it already, I'm going to guess that it's kind of topped out here. So I'm going to guess that no more numbers are going to hit in this 1 through 9 group. So I'm going to eliminate the 1 through 9 numbers off of the game card. So I'll go back to the game card. And I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm parlaying this bet. Okay, so I've already bet $3 that no green numbers will come up in the color code, and now I'm going to parlay it with the individual numbers of no numbers of 1 through 9 coming up. Okay, so if I'm correct in these two bets, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. So basically I took all the numbers and divided it into 4 different groups and put colors to the groups, okay? So when the Powerball numbers come up, I record them down here in the stats, okay? And I try to guess which one of these groups won't have a winning Powerball number to it, okay? So I have 15 of these option cards, all right? I started out with these 2 option cards first, but it wasn't giving me enough zeros, okay? Enough misses, so I decided to expand it. So now I have 15 of these option cards, and the strategy is try to guess where this 0 is going to come up, like right here. So if I could have guessed that none of these orange numbers would have come up in the last drawing, I could have eliminated all these numbers and really reduced the odds for myself. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no red numbers are going to come up in option card number 1. Okay, so the reason why it's up to 10 in a row here, okay, so I'm just going to guess that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I want to expand on this a little bit on how this works. Okay, so you can see these numbers off to the side here, the 19 and 25. It's actually the 8, 19, 25, 53, and 58. These numbers share the square with other numbers within here. Okay, the 8 shares the square with the 66, the 19 with the 67, the 25 with the 65, the 53 with the 69, and the 58 with the 68. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm keeping track of groups of numbers and trying to guess whether they're going to come up or not come up in the lottery. Okay, so with this group of red right here, when I'm eliminating these numbers, I'm going to eliminate the 19 and the 25 as a group. Okay, so as I scroll to the right, you're going to see the 19 and 25 vanish here. Okay, so again, all I'm doing is keeping track of groups of numbers and trying to guess whether they're going to come up or not come up. Okay, so my next pick in group 1 is option card number 2, no red numbers. So I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so you can see that they're all gone here. All right, so if I'm correct in my pick, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to pick 2 more out of group 1. My next one is option card number 5. No red numbers. So again, I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And if I'm correct in my pick, again, I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to pick one more in group 1. And that's option card number 9, no red numbers. Okay, so I think this is going to double up. I think there's going to be 2 zeros in a row. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. So I'm all done picking from group 1. So I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1 where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. So again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I have 15 of these option cards as well. And they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so I'm going to guess that no red numbers will be coming up. So I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so again, I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Alright, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And my next pick is option card number 4, no yellow numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the yellow right here. And again, I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate the yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just whittling the numbers down here. Alright, so if I made all the correct picks, the 5 white winning Powerball numbers should be on the board in one of these colored numbers. Okay, hopefully. So I'm going to go back to group 2 and I'm going to make another pick. I'm going to pick from option card number 8, no red numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the red. And I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And I'm going to go back for one more. And that's option card number 14, no yellow numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the yellow. And as I go down, I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so hopefully I made all the correct picks. And the 5 white winning numbers are within these colored numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, so now it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers. Or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. Okay, so I like to keep track of that stuff and try to guess what the majority will be for the upcoming drawing. Okay, so over here, there's 233. This is how many drawings I kept track of so far, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers, okay? And out of this 233 drawings, 115 have been the majority of odd numbers, and 118 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, and the reason why is because you can see that this is a single 3 right here. Okay, and this was a single 4, but down here, I just see a bunch of groups. Okay, so and since this is behind a little bit, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, so for the next one, high and low, I think there's going to be more to the high side than the low side. Okay, so the reason why is because I see a lot of groupings over here as well. Okay, so I just think that this is going to jump back over to the high side here. Okay, and this will become 115. Okay, so the next one is left and right. Okay, so you can see that the left has really had the majority for a long time here, so I'm just going to guess that more numbers will come up to the right side than the left side. Okay, and the last one is blue and red. Okay, so you can see that the blue is so far behind that I'm just going to take the blue here. Okay, I think that there's going to be more numbers coming up in this blue area than the red area. Okay, so for the last thing here is, this is what I do have for the red ball itself. Okay, this number 3 right here that just came up. There's 26 red balls total. Okay, so in this column right here, a blue means that it's low, 1 to 13, and a red means it's high, 14 to 26. And in this column right here, red means it's odds, and blue means that it's evens. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think that this is going to be red, and I think that this is going to be red as well. So I think it's going to be a high odd number. Okay, so back to the game card. Again, with the 50-50 picks, I think there's going to be more numbers to the more odd numbers than even numbers. I think there'll be more to the high side than the low side. I think there'll be more to the right side than the left side, and I think there'll be more in the blue area than the red area. Okay, so moving on. My next strategy, strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Excuse me. Okay, so how I use this is, again, I have 15 of these option cards here. So I keep track of group 2 as a group. Okay, so again, for each option card, I have red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different. Okay, so there's going to be 15 red areas, 15 blue areas, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what I do is I keep track of that stuff as a group, and I'm going to get to that here in 1 second. Okay, so this is where I keep the stats as a group. Okay, so here you can see that in the red section, the last drawing had 9 hits, 6 misses. The blue section had 7 hits, 8 misses. Okay, so 7 and 8 equals 15. Okay, so the magic number here is 8. Okay, it's right in the middle of 15. Okay, so if there's 8 or more misses to that group, I color it blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits to that group, I color it red for hot. Okay, so this helps me determine what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think that there's going to be a lot of red right here in the brown section. I think there's going to be a lot of hits, and I think that this will be a red right up here. Okay, so as I go back to the to my group 2 here, basically what I do is I find out what's left on the game card. Okay, so here in option card number 1, I look to see how many brown numbers are left on the game card here. I'm just going to scroll over to the right. Okay, so right here, the 6 all the way down to the 62, the only one left is the 38. So I wrote that right here, okay? And then the next one is option card number 2, of course. So you can see that it runs from the 41 to the 48. Okay, the only one left is the 47, so I wrote that right here. Okay, so I wrote down all the ones left on the for all 15 option cards right here. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so I'm going to scroll over to the right. And the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are 15, 29, 38, 47, and 51. Okay, so with that combination, that will give me 11 hits, 4 misses in that brown area. Okay, so as I go back to there, I think that this will be an 11, and I think that this will be a 4. Okay? So again, the numbers I'm going to go with is 15, 29, 38, 47, and 51. Okay, so again, I thought there was going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. I thought there would be more to the high side than the low side. So you can see that the 38, 47, and 51 are all to the high. Okay, I thought there would be more to the right, which is pretty obvious because I don't have anything over here to the left, really. Okay, and the last one, I thought there was going to be more to the blue area than the red area. So you can see that the 15, 29, and 51 are in this blue area. Okay, so that's how I use my system. Okay, so if you're interested in using my system yourself, you can go to my website at www.patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. Okay, or you can email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.